But yeah, I saw these and it kind of reminded me of my childhood, my youthful angst and, all the music that I played in college. And so I thought I would revisit that and buy a new pair of docks.
I've been looking myself at some docks.
Yeah, you got to do it.
That guy wasted a lot of time in school because I would have bought that from a Mr. Martin. You know what I'm saying?
Not quite the same thing, honey.
It don't take much science. Hey.
Something in the water taught me how to crawl. Something in the water taught me how to fall.
Hey folks, welcome to Something in the Water. I'm one of your co-hosts, Uncle Dave Griffin.
I'm Sean Clark, and we are here with our dear friend, Miss Kellie Parr, singer-songwriter, musician of the Golden Isles.
Thank you.
The queen of the Golden Isles.
So lovely to be here.
And it's wonderful to have you too.
Thank
and
you.
Folks, I know we mired down in this long winter, but we thought that we'd give y'all a breath of sunshine this time instead of looking at us. No, we're glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And Kellie is a songwriter, singer, musician, been at it for several years.
Very long time.
Yeah.
Not going to say how many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's also played the Graham Parsons guitar pull over and over again. And
one time you got up with me and I said you were going to sing on one verse and I mess up and sing the wrong verse.
You did. You sung the wrong words.
Sorry about that.
We just kind of
every time I think about that, I cringe.
No.
What song was that?
It was a song for you, and I just
song for you,
which I sing all the time, which makes it even worse. That I've got a history of messing up at the Graham Parsons Festival.
We had a group called Burrito Deluxe one year, and Sean's band must have been Jack Cadillac.
Yeah. Played right before.
Was playing on the side stage, and you said at the end of your set, you said, "Thanks a lot." You were really wound up too.
We had a really bad set.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, we were on the side stage where everything was falling apart, and I broke a string first song.
Oh no!
And didn't have time to change nothing. Nobody could hear anything. It was hectic. So at the end, I say, "Y'all give it up. We got Dorito Deluxe." I said. Instead of Burrito Deluxe, it was Dorito Deluxe.
Well, that's a good name.
It is.
I like
but
that.
it was Sneaky Pete that played with Graham Parsons and Flying Burrito Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Last gig
Yeah,
before he died.
Oh, wow.
And he got introduced wrong by this.
Well, he got a good send-off then.
I think you sent him away with a really great laugh.
It was
though.
not on purpose.
Yeah.
And everybody was looking at me like, what are you doing?
You talking about the gig going totally wrong, the set going totally wrong. You broke a string first song. We were talking about that in the kitchen now. The different things that happened to us as performers and everything. You were talking about
swollen finger.
Your chord fingers, your index finger swole up, and that's the one that you.
It's bad.
Bar chord and used. C chords,
bend
F
it
chords.
like that, and it didn't want to bend. Oh, it was awful. And then I broke my G string.
Well, now
really,
I want to know about that.
If you're gonna break a string,
this is a family show.
Yeah, I know you do not want to break your G string. Just saying. But no, it was fine. I had a backup guitar, so it's all good. I'm a professional that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I went all the way down.
That was a little stab at Sean.
Yeah, I went all the way down to Florida this past weekend and broke a bunch of strings, was trying to change them, and the tuner fell off of my guitar,
The key.
tuning key, the whole mechanism for
That's
the
this
low
thing
E.
right- that's
Yeah,
this thing
and there's
right
a little
here,
screw
right
right there on the very
For the
end. That's
low E,
what you lost,
for the
right?
heaviest
the one
string,
that
Right
fell
there.
off right there.
Right
It
there.
could not be replaced.
the heaviest, and some would say one of the most important strings. And I had to play the whole last set without it.
But you're a professional, and you
Well, I
did
don't know
it.
about that, but show must go on.
That's right.
Keith Richards plays 5 strings. Remember, he had a guitar built exclusively for him because it was one of the open G tunings that he picked up from one of those
What string do you get
black
rid of?
blues
Yeah.
musicians that he met over the years.
What string does he?
I think he gives up the little E string.
Yeah, that's what I was going to try to do. I was going to try to take the
Right.
tuning key and put it on the top, but I didn't even have any tools to work with or anything.
I've had many a time that I'll be out there and won't have any spares in my guitar case or something. Like a G string will break, and
I know the feeling.
I'll string it up with a E or a B, and it makes it through the evening, but
Yeah.
it just sounds weird. And there's sometimes that weren't available to me, that I'll just go with a busted A or D or something and just finish the last hour off being painfully.
You cannot leave the house without an extra G string.
With
I'm just saying.
But they're uncomfortable to me.
Yeah. They are, but you get used to them. Yeah.
Oh,
This is getting a little too personal.
I broke a string. This is nothing G string related, but broke a string in Fernandina on the porch, Green Turtle.
Green Turtle. I love the Green Turtle.
And my tuning peg fell. It was a solo show, and it fell through the cracks.
Oh, no.
And
another tuning peg fell off?
no, string peg.
Oh, your string peg
okay.
down
that
the
holds
bottom.
the string
Yeah.
in the bridge pin.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the
Bridge
correct term.
pin.
That's that.
Bridge
yeah,
pin.
That's the
I'm
technical
not a gear
term.
dude.
It's a thingamajiggy. That
This little
thingamajiggy at
white
the end
thing
of
with
the
the black
string.
eyeball.
Yeah.
There they are, right down there at the bottom.
Right here. We got. I feel like I'm a
Can
Price
you-
is Right girl.
Can you see that on camera? No.
No.
Oh, you
no?
can?
Oh,
Yeah,
wait. No,
he's-
you can.
He's got
Well,
it.
not there.
He's
Oh,
got
there
it
we
on
go.
the
There we go.
long range camera.
Right there.
So
anyway,
you lost your
if-
bridge pin.
Anyway.
But they had these palm trees out front, and the bark that folds over and splinters out. I broke some of that off and shoved it in there to hold the string in there,
way.
and it
Huh.
cut the hell out of me in the whole gig, and I was bleeding. But it was very metal. It was cool.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a gig I had one time. I broke my finger. Okay. I'll tell you how I broke the finger. It was Halloween. I had these thigh-high boots on, and I was a little, let's just say a little impaired. And I was pulling the boots off, and I yanked, and my finger just went like that. And I broke.
God.
Yeah, it was really bad. So I went to the doctor, and they said, we're going to have to totally reconstruct it. So they took bone. I don't know if you can see my scars. They took bone from here and put it in there and put some pins in there.
Good
and they originally
Lord.
set it like that, right? Okay, like that. And I told the doctor, I said, nope, that's not going to work because I play guitar, can't play guitar like that. So he actually bent it back and taped it like that. And then I played a couple of gigs with it
Wow.
back like that.
That's hardcore.
So there you go.
Yeah, but you got full mobility
The
with
show
it
must
now?
go on.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
pretty good
pretty
now.
good,
But you
yeah.
can see the pin right there. It's kind of
Golly.
weird, yeah.
You and Mark Andrus, y'all
We're
just
like bionic people.
hurt yourselves so much.
Well,
Well, I'm a big show must go on kind of guy. Like I
Yeah.
consider it a challenge. Like
exactly.
I lost a limb, but we're going to figure it out. You know.
The show must
Well,
go on.
speaking of boots, what's the story on these
Oh,
beauties?
yeah. We got a good shot of those.
Are there some
Ooh, look at
docs?
those heels.
Some Dr. Martens.
Doc Martens. And you know, I didn't know they made
Yeah.
such high heel Doc Martens until I found these. But
Sweet.
so yeah, I grew up wearing Doc Martens. Well, when I was in college, I wore them almost exclusively.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I know. We were
Not heels,
we're
but
kind of.
yeah.
I want to see you in these, Sean.
didn't have the heels.
We're gonna swap shoes later.
And they were white, but those are cool.
And well, I thought I would go with the white because I do kind of a
Oh, I wish I could
rockabilly
go with the
thing,
white.
and
I just can't. I couldn't pull it off.
You could totally
you
pull
could.
it
No, I couldn't.
off. Come on now. But yeah, I saw these and it kind of reminded me of my childhood, my youthful angst, and all the music that I played in college. And so I thought I would revisit that and buy a new pair of docks.
I've been looking myself at some dogs.
Yeah, you got to do it.
That guy wasted a lot of time in school because I would have bought that from a Mr. Martin. You know what I'm saying?
Not quite the same thing, honey.
It don't take much science. A cool boot's a cool boot.
That's right.
I don't need to
Well,
buy it
now
from a doctor.
back in the mid '70s, when I was playing
Those are
full time music, I would wear a heel about that high.
Really?
Oh yeah, it might not have been. Well, it was close.
Those were different times, Dave.
All right, we're going to swap shoes.
No,
then.
it was stacked heels, is
Yeah.
what they called them back
Right.
then.
Disco.
That's the masculine way to put high
75
heels.
through 70, 75 through 78. Probably early on, that 75, 76, we used to shop in Valdosta. There's a couple of clothing stores there
Yeah.
that we'd buy all of our outfits and shoes from, and that was it, boy.
All right. Well, I guess
Don't
I am
call it-
retro.
Don't call what you're wearing an outfit. Too late.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself as far as maybe where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Brunswick,
Yeah.
in south side of Brunswick
Yeah.
on the Little Satilla River. That
Little
was a
Satilla.
great childhood. Spent a lot
Salt
of
water.
time.
That was
Salt
saltwater.
water, yeah.
Saltwater
Did a lot
river.
of crabbing and shrimping and
Mhm.
fishing and skiing, water skiing, a lot of water skiing. But I live on St. Simon's now and spent a lot of time over there growing up too, on the beach. And
Yeah.
let's see, what else? Well, I went to Florida State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go Noles. We kind
Tallahatchie.
of sucked this year, but anyway, yeah, that's where I got my start with the whole music thing.
Mhm.
The punk rock band. Well, not really punk rock. It's more alternative, but yeah. Well, I should backtrack a little bit. My mom is actually the one who really got me started in music. She sang in a trio, I guess she called it like a hillbilly Andrews Sisters trio back in the 50s.
Yeah.
And
cool.
yeah, she has she's 80. Oh, sorry, Mom. She's older now.
Yeah.
And but she has this beautiful alto voice.
Wow.
And so I grew up, since I was maybe 8 years old.
Has she come
harmonizing
to
with
the
her.
festival with you before?
She has not come to
No?
the festival. She's been to a few of my gigs, but I'm still trying to get her up to sing with me at some point. But yeah, next year.
I
that's gonna be my
was
goal.
running through my photos from past festivals last
Mm-hmm.
night looking for something. And I came across one of you sitting under a pop-up in the crowd
Oh, right.
with an older woman next to
Yeah.
you, and I didn't know who that.
I bet that was
was.
Carol, my good friend Carol. I
Carol,
bet that's
what's her last name?
McNeary.
Yeah, Carol.
Yeah, that's it.
I
yeah.
know her too.
She's like
That's it.
my second mom.
I just didn't recognize her there. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I lived in Tallahassee, worked in Tallahassee in what was it? 79 and 80, maybe 80 and 81.
yeah.
So we probably wouldn't have crossed paths at that time.
A little
there
before my time
yeah,
there, yeah.
There was on what was it, Tennessee Street?
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah.
that the main drag?
Yeah, we used to play at the grand finale. I don't know if
Was
it
there
was
a club
there.
called
Bullwinkles. Yes.
Yeah, there was still Bullwinkles.
We didn't play there because that was primarily cover bands that would play there. But we played it about, I guess it was about 3 or 4 doors down at the grand finale because we were pretty much
don't
all
remember
original
that. Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old Bullwinkles. I think Creed started there.
Is that right?
You know that band Creed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a little bit after I was there too. But
Mhm.
yeah, Tallahassee, got a lot of fond memories of that place.
Oh boy, that town just impressed me so
Yeah.
much. Because you think about it, it is the capital of Florida, number one, and you think that, well, I'm moving to the capital, and you
Right.
think it's going to be big city, but it wasn't. It was
Not at all.
sprawling,
Yeah,
and it was
spread out.
countrified,
Yeah.
more country than anything. It
Yeah.
was a good feeling for me.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
enjoyed living down there.
I loved it too. And
Yeah.
it's really beautiful now. They've done a lot with some of the green spaces downtown. There's like this, I can't remember. It might be the Greenway or something like that. I can't remember now, but it's still a great town. I'm trying to convince my son to go to college there, but
Okay.
we'll see.
So you had a band down? Is that when you had a band?
did,
Was that your first
yeah.
band days?
That was, well, I did in high school. I had, the talent show bands and all that, which is great. But the first real band I was in was in Tallahassee, and we were called the Shatter Posts, which I think was like a character in a Rudyard Kipling story or something. I can't remember. Our guitar player, who was awesome.
That's very alternative.
Yeah, he named us, but we did pretty well. We were shoot, I'm not going to give the years because that just gives my age away. That's a secret. We'll just say it was 90-ish something, perhaps.
Yeah.
But we did pretty well. We did a CD and toured a little bit in the Southeast, and I think we made like one top 10 list in San Luis Obispo in California.
Cool.
Some very random thing, but yeah, it was fun.
Is that the band that you got to open up for one of my favorite bands?
Yes, Afghan Wigs.
Wow. Where'd you open up for them?
It was a place called the Cow House in Tallahassee, and we opened for them. I met Greg Dully. And yeah. We opened for a lot. We opened for Uncle Tupelo.
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
Jeff Tweedy.
Yeah.
and-
Jay Farrar.
Yeah, Jay Farrar, exactly. Yeah, a bunch of other bands that, of course, that was a long time ago. Memories are fading.
Do you
but,
have recordings of those
Yeah,
years too?
well, what's funny is I would love to have videos of that time, but
No
about
kidding.
all I have, I've got one picture of me playing. It was a benefit for the college radio station, and it's such a cool picture. I still have it framed in my little music room. I'm playing I used to play an SG,
Cool.
Gibson SG. It was badass. But anyway, can I say
can
ass
say-
now? Okay,
you can say-
we're
you
into
can't
it.
say
We can say it
bad,
now. Right.
You have to
But,
say good ass.
I'm rocking in my hair. I had long curly hair at the time, permed, of course, because it was that era of it. And it's like fanning like this,
Oh,
It's
man.
just like the ultimate rock
picture, yeah.
shot, And so I still have, but I haven't been able to find any videos or anything, because that was before cell phones. Oh,
Yeah.
See, now I'm really dating myself.
Well,
I'm right there
in
with
our
you.
youth,
Yeah.
we tend to not think of cameras, all that much.
Living
too,
in the
and
moment.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really, I think, is great. Because I think a lot of, oh God, my son's going to say, Mom, you sound like an old person. But I think that's what people don't realize
that's what they-
now
Yeah.
is they're trying to capture, no offense to the cameras in here, but
Yeah.
everybody's trying to capture everything on film and they're not experiencing what's actually happening. You
So-
know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are living
Yeah.
for the past, living for
Exactly.
the documented memory of something
Right.
rather than enjoying it in the moment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that's a shame. I mean, of course, 20, 30 years from now, it'll be great to have those videos. And I
Yeah,
wish I
yeah.
had those videos, but in the moment,
But
you're
will the
not really.
memories be as real or
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have some great memories and no video, but it's in here. So.
And when you go
Nonetheless.
back and look, like I always enjoyed, still do, going back and getting my mom's photo albums out, and I'm like,
Right. I know.
yeah,
and all the plastic.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
And
tangible.
You
she's
don't
got
get that anymore.
on one of the pages is an envelope with my hair in it, fresh haircut, stuff like that. Like you can't get that from
Yeah.
Just clicking on the computer like,
I
here I
think I
am in
have
third
that of
grade,
my
here I am in
son.
fourth grade.
I
here
think
am
I
in
have a
fifth.
lock of my son's hair too. I have to say, I had his tooth for a while too.
I think she's got some teeth as
Yeah,
well.
I think I actually threw that away because that seemed a little gross. But the hair I still have. Yeah.
Yeah, I met your son at one of the festivals one
Yeah.
year, and it seems like the last time I saw him, he was like a little old joker, you know.
Yep.
And now he's
16.
16 and driving a car.
It's crazy, crazy.
Oh,
He gives me good song material, though, I will say. I've written a couple of songs about just being a mom, and being a single mom is definitely an adventure. But I think he's turned out pretty well, so I feel pretty good about that.
yeah, you've done a good job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Well, we're all so far we're all proud of our kids, and one thing that's forever true is you're gonna love them,
Yeah.
regardless, and
Till they become one of them school shooters.
even then they're
Even
loved.
then, though.
Even then they're loved.
Yeah.
But why?
But I mean,
How would you do that?
You know,
but
I'm sure that's
you
it.
do, and that doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
like, imagine being like Jeffrey Dahmer's parents.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be horrible?
What do you do?
How do you
Jeffrey
rationalize
Dahmer's
that?
parents would be like, I should have relaxed a little bit about those vegetables.
Like, I mean,
Eat your broccoli or go to your room. Now look at you.
I'll show you, Mom.
I'm not. No comment.
Okay. Okay, folks. Forget we even said that.
Oh no!
I am not going there.
Oh,
Damn it, Dahmer.
take that trash out of there. It stinks.
All right, Sean, you're gonna make me do a spit take.
Sorry.
Smells like something dead, isn't it?
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Oh,
We can
Lord.
cut this, right?
Yeah. No, this is the king of no cut.
Oh no! Oh,
He is
stream of consciousness.
He's
Right.
embarrassed the hell out of all of us with his post production.
Yeah, we've said many times. Oh, he'll cut it out.
Yeah.
Then
Well,
there
he's
it
got the
is.
sound effects. That sound
Yeah.
effects
Yeah.
were really good.
He's more
Yeah.
concerned about sound effects than he is about any kind of.
I don't
editing.
want to hear some of them sound effects. I don't want to hear them.
Yeah, he's got little
He's got like
soundboards of us talking.
yeah, one of them is called Blackmail Dave.
Well, I tell you, I just treated myself and bought a Tesla, if y'all can
Wow.
believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my son, now that he's 16, he gets the old Subaru that I've been driving, which, I don't know that really gives him much cred with his friends, but sorry,
Subarus
kid.
are called.
Yeah, I mean, they're great.
They're great.
They're very safe. But I bought a Tesla, just a little one, and it's used. It's not anything fancy.
You may be our first guest that has a Tesla.
Really?
So
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Well, tell us about it.
Okay, I will tell you. The reason I brought it up is that you can, and these are, just imagine these kind of geeks in the lab thinking, ooh, what fun things can we do? You can set your turn signal to make fart noises.
Oh, no.
So when
my
you turn, it's like,
That's like,
I mean,
that's
and it's
overkill.
different farts. It's not just the same
Not the
fart
same
over
one
and
over and
over.
over.
It's like different pitches and different lengths. Yeah. It's
Wow.
hilarious. And I love when I take people for a ride, I love not saying anything about it. And they turn it, and they're like,
Is that Kelly? Is that you?
so,
I noticed that every
Sound
time you
effects.
turn to the right, you fall.
Kelly, what have you been
Do
eating?
you get nervous at intersections?
That
Oh, boy.
is
Yeah.
crazy. I've
Yeah.
never heard that
It's
before.
pretty
but that's
weird.
like too much time on you.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm just
Does
picturing
it
these
have
geeks
the
in the
auto
lab.
drive thing? Is that?
I think it's like some kind of beta thing with mine. Like you can get it, but you have to pay like $10,000 or something like that. So I'm fine with it. I tell you one thing that's amazing about that. You press the pedal and it's
It
like
goes. That's
it's
what
like
I
the
heard.
G's are
Oh, there's
amazing.
no
Man.
resistance.
No, because
just
it's like it's straight to the tires, because with a regular car, you've got all the different things that okay, I'm not mechanical,
Yeah,
but
well,
like
neither am
spark
I.
plugs or whatever.
You got to create some kind of combustion.
Exactly. You got to create combustion. My dad, sorry, Dad. I know I should know this stuff. He taught me all this stuff growing up. I was the son he never had. But anyway, with the electric car, it just goes right to the tires. So it's crazy.
High powered golf cart.
So you hook up to the charging stations.
I do.
Are you finding them plentiful enough?
That's what I was about to ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have to plan ahead a little bit. And if you put your route in the GPS in the car, it'll tell you where you need to stop.
Okay.
So that's really nice.
Okay, so driving over here to Waycross, is there anywhere?
I took the Subaru tonight.
Okay.
Sorry.
But you
and for
wouldn't even
gigs.
need it. I mean, aren't you good for how long?
About 200 miles. So yeah, I could
200
go
miles,
here and
okay.
back. I could have,
Yeah, but that's cutting it
Dadgummit,
close.
I
That's
should
cutting
have
it
driven the
close,
Tesla.
really.
Sorry.
I didn't realize
No.
that. 200
Dang.
miles is the extent of it, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I guess
That
the,
particular one.
Yeah.
I guess the guest, whoever drives the Tesla here, will get that award. But
Yeah. Oh, I know.
The-
All right. Well, you're going to have to invite me back then. I'm going to come back next week.
Somebody's gonna,
Sorry.
yeah. I'm sure none of our guests are going to have a Tesla.
Then we'll
I
have
mean,
the-
seriously, you want to hear the fart turn signal? I mean,
Oh,
that would be
yeah.
worth
That would
it.
be great.
Yeah, we could have the camera out there right now.
Yeah. Dang
Yeah.
it.
Getting it first
What was I
hand.
thinking?
I was thinking you didn't want to break down and Waycross.
True.
Like, can you send SpaceX? I am broke down.
Elon, where are you? Beam me up, Elon.
Man, that one of those shuttles coming back.
Oh, they said it was last night.
Nobody was on it. It was something it was just an automatic thing that was coming back from the space station.
Re-entry.
And I was
10:30?
in my little picking shed,
Oh, man, I forgot about it.
and I thought I didn't know what it was.
You heard it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I was in. I mean, I didn't see it because I was inside, but it was like. Boom. Well, I was like, "What the hell was that?" I thought something had exploded somewhere in town.
Wow.
And then my phone goes to ringing, and my wife's like, "Somebody's beating on the door," and I was like,
no,
And
it's
I-
the Tesla.
"I thought that."
I mean,
At that point, I was like, "Somebody's ran into our house," because that is if that's what I heard, then that
Right.
was not somebody beating on the door, So I'm like going out there in a hurry, like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Wow.
And I'm like, I run to the front. I don't even go in through the back door. I just run around to the front. And there's like nobody there. And so then I go in. I'm like, there's nobody out here. And she goes, well, the door went like they were trying to come in.
mm.
I
Whoa.
said, did you hear a sonic boom? Because I did. She's like, I didn't hear that. And then we got
So
to
it's just the pressure.
looking
or
on
something?
Facebook and
Mhm.
seeing,
Yeah.
that. And then there was all these videos of it going over. And I was like, man, I wish I'd have known that.
Wow.
Because it was like a comet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Looked
I
like.
read about it beforehand, about 3 or 4 hours beforehand. And by the time 10:30 got here, I had already forgotten it. And I heard nothing.
You didn't hear it?
Mhm.
I thought
did.
Connor
I-
said
I
y'all heard
would've-
it over there.
Well, he may have.
Y'all don't
Did you-
communicate much. over there.
Well,
You're like, Dad, I
do.
got COVID and got over it. I didn't know if you knew or not. I didn't see you in the kitchen.
we communicate. We do communicate. We talk a lot. It's usually like, shut up.
It's
No,
too
we're
late.
talking to the dogs, Hush. Because every time somebody knocks on the door,
Mhm.
it's
I've got one of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did y'all hear anything, Justin, last night? Yeah.
No?
Last night.
Wasn't it last night that happened?
It happened again? No, I was talking about weeks ago.
Oh, no. This was just last night that I read. I read on Facebook. Maybe the Facebook post was a
Older.
week or 2 old. I didn't look at the time on that.
This is at
I
least a
think
month
they've
ago.
done a lot of launches.
But
though,
yeah,
it
they've been
seems
launching
like,
all
yeah.
the time now.
Mhm.
Yeah. Maybe
This-
that was an old post. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
But I think I read it in the Cherokee Heights Facebook page.
Yeah, group.
Yeah, Facebook group.
They be posting.
Yeah. And they always talking about explosions
Yeah, like,
too and noises.
Did y'all hear that? It's
Did y'all
always
hear
like-
that? Is it guns?
Every post is like, did y'all hear that? What was that? Don't
That
hear it?
happens on St. Simon's too.
yeah.
You know,
I think it happens
well,
everywhere.
with that ship, they were doing
Yeah.
all the cutting and moving and all
Have they
that,
got
and
it?
it
That's
made
still
a bunch
not all
of noise.
gone. Yeah,
It's actually, I think it is. I was just driving by last
but
night.
the
or night before,
crane's
and
still out there, right?
I didn't see anything. I didn't see any
Oh,
lights in the
wow.
sound. So
it was
I
there
think it's.
Sunday. I don't-
Oh, okay.
that
Well, this was
like 3 years.
but I'm sure it takes a
wasn't
while to get that thing out of there.
Yeah.
That thing's bigger than the
It's
boat. It went
huge.
over the boat.
Yeah.
Folks, we're
it's
talking
crazy.
about anybody watching or listening. We're talking about a boat that capsized,
Which
that
was
was
called
carrying automobiles.
Golden Ray.
The Golden Ray.
Mhm.
Wasn't it carrying automobiles?
It was, and it
And it just
it
shifted.
and just
And all of a
turned,
sudden-
and it kept turning.
I think they were running. They were hitting the bottom. I don't know what the terms are, but
grounding out.
Running aground.
and
I used to be a boat captain. So.
big old
Seriously. Yeah.
boat, you know.
It was loaded
Shit.
incorrectly.
Yeah,
Frigate.
what happened was they this is what I heard. They took like little keys off at the port,
But
and
they
then
all
they
took it from the same side.
put some SUVs back on, and but didn't even equal out the weight on either side. So when they took that turn to starboard, yes, I do know my terminology. Apparently, the weight on the starboard side
does
was
that
more.
fart when you take a starboard right?
yeah.
Does it fart?
Well, it did in this case.
Which is it?
It did,
Starboard,
yeah,
is that
exactly.
right or left?
Starboard is right.
Right,
And
okay.
here's
in this
the way
case, you shit the bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I actually know the pilot that was on the boat at the
Oh,
time, and I'm
wow.
sure he was doing that. Here's an easy way to remember it. Port is on the left. Left is 4 letters. Port is 4 letters.
Port's 4
So
letters.
what's not port is starboard.
Starboard.
So port, starboard.
Star right.
Yeah.
Starlight.
Port
Star
to left.
bright.
Right. First star, I see. No. Anyway, but
Gotcha.
port
Okay.
is left,
Our
starboard is
seat
right.
nights on the right.
Fore and aft.
Yeah, fore and aft. Very good.
Fore's got to
Yeah,
be the
bow,
front.
stern. There's
Okay,
all
now
kinds.
that what bow's
Bow's the
front,
front, stern's the back.
stern's the
Yeah,
back. Keel.
fore and aft. Keel's the bottom.
the bottom. Okay.
Oh, I know, honey. I can give you some terms.
List. What is list?
List is when it's in that boat listed to starboard initially.
That's lean. Is that lean?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then when the weight shifted, I guess because there was more weight on that side, it just kept rolling. There's nothing that
I heard
could do.
that it happened at night, right?
Yep. Mhm.
And it was so loud.
I was there the weekend that happened.
Oh, really?
People heard it.
And I was over there at King and or is it
Echo.
King?
Echo? Yeah.
No, not King and Prince. Queen, the motel right.
Queen's Court?
Queen's Court. I was right there, and I remember hearing helicopters and all kinds of
Yeah,
shit.
you were
didn't hear
right
it.
there if you were at Queen's
No,
Court.
it was probably a day after it happened or something like that. But I remember just the
Commotion.
noise
Yeah.
of constant.
One of those kids was in there for 24 hours or
Yeah, a
48
while.
hours
They were trapped in there.
before they
Yeah.
could
yeah.
before they could cut in and get him out. I remember
Yeah.
seeing the picture where the boat's laying on the side and they're all standing on the what would be the bottom where it comes down to a point. What's that?
Right. That's the keel.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
standing on the keel, and they've pulled him out of this hole that they've
Yeah.
cut, and kid's just what looks like he's about a 14-year-old
Yeah. I think they're all
Asian boy.
Korean, right?
Yeah, Korean.
Yeah, I
and,
think it was a
and he
Korean
was just
show.
like all smiles. I mean, can you imagine
Ugh,
being in pitch
no.
black in that mess
Yeah.
underwater?
Right.
Not
well,
knowing
and just
what the outcome's
he's-
gonna be.
how huge it is and how it tips. What it makes me think of is Titanic, the
Yeah.
movie.
All the
How
things that are
people were,
falling,
tumbling down.
and the
you
cars
know?
and the everything. That's
But
a
you
Yeah.
knew
Crazy.
you knew the captain.
I knew the
on that
pilot,
ship?
the
Oh,
pilot that got on board to help guide them out.
Oh,
I will
okay.
not say his name.
Justin, there's plenty.
So,
But
okay.
I don't think it
A
was his
pilot
fault.
is different from a captain. Pilot, is a guide.
Pilot is the local person
Local.
that helps them get out.
Navigate.
And once they're out, the pilot boat comes and gets him and brings him back. Or her.
Okay. Did you ever know anybody over there named Henry Wynn? Henry Wynn. He
sure.
used to be a club owner
Yeah.
here in Waycross, and I think he was from Waycross originally. Went to Waycross High School, but he ended up, and he was the best club owner too. He could he took over the espresso, Then he had Sir Henry's back in the 80s when I was playing around here. Then he bought Whitfield's at one time. They called it something else. So he had about 3 different clubs, and he would work them for maybe 2 years, maybe 3, and build them up to a money-making thing and get out. And he would always do that at the right time. You know, he would get in, build them up, and then sell them or ease out of it. But he wound up over there in the what is that little place there? As you pass Satilla Shores, you come over the hill and to the left.
Colonel's Island.
Huh?
Colonel's Island. That's
That's
area.
where all of the cars come in
processing plant,
and stuff. He's over there doing some kind of a taxi service, like a was it a CB, SEABEE? It's like a CB, almost like a guide thing. It reminds me of a guide, but they're like taxi service. I guess they would go out and it seems to me like they would go out and kind of act as guides for the ships or something like that. But anyhow,
I don't know.
That's random enough. Yeah. Henry Lynn, folks, look him up.
Justin, did you find something of the Golden Ray?
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Whoa.
We haven't talked about this, and even though it's
That
been
thing
going
is
on
just
for so long.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And at this time, it's over with, right?
Yep, it's all gone.
It's all
that
gone,
must have
but this
been
is
right
when it
started,
happened.
yeah. And they
That's the
apparently
keel
they
right
pushed
there,
it.
huh?
They pushed it on the sandbar, I think. So I don't know that it ran aground initially. I think they actually pushed it aground.
I heard
But
that
I
they were
don't know.
trying to make a turn because
Yeah.
they were
Right.
they were coming into some shallow.
Right. They had to make the turn into the
and then
channel.
that's when it rolled over.
Yeah. But it was the weight that was the problem, apparently.
Yeah.
So
God, which way were they coming from?
they were coming out. They
Coming
were
out of the
leaving.
port. They were leaving.
I think that's right. Gosh, I mean those ships are so huge.
They're like a city.
It's hard to tell what's the bow and the stern when you're looking at it because
Yeah,
they're shaped so weird. I don't know how they actually are seaworthy, honestly.
But the port of Brunswick would be back to the right of that location, wouldn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Back
See,
closer to
that's the
Waycross.
stern right there. Yeah. Okay. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's that yellow thing there's.
is the thing that sliced it up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's the big
That's so
crane
weird.
thing that they brought in.
How the heck did we
Especially-
get on this tangent?
No, that's just amazing.
Well, I will say that I used to be a boat captain in the Bahamas back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
And I had a 100-ton license. I could not captain that boat. I could captain the gambling boat, though. The Emerald Princess that goes out.
Dang.
I think I could. But that was a former life.
My parents went on that one time and apparently didn't know anything about Dramamine, but my mom
It can get
got
ugly.
sick the whole time.
Oh, no.
Me and Lynn had a date on that. Went back before we were married. Emerald Princess. Too.
Well, and the problem with that boat is they go out even if the weather's kind of bad. So you can get out there and it can be really rough. And
And no windows, and you're in there.
and casinos, people are smoking. It's like, I don't know how people do
Black 13.
I was actually supposed to play that boat a
Yeah,
couple
I was
times. I was
just
going
gonna
to
say,
fill
have
in.
you
Did
ever
y'all
played
ever
it?
do that?
No.
No?
Never have. There's one guy over there that has a lock on
Yeah,
it. Who's that old?
he plays almost every time they go out.
I
But
can't
I
remember
was
his
supposed
name.
to help him out and play, but
Yeah.
I can't remember why I didn't. But
I wonder if that gets,
I
whenever it
don't
gets rocky,
know.
like if you're like, whoa, 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 10 feet this way, 10 feet that way.
I did play the Dolphin tours out of Jekyll
Oh, yeah,
That was an
yeah.
open
a couple
boat,
of
right?
years ago. It was just a little
Little
old.
skiff.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Tour boat.
kind of like a bus on the water. You
On
know?
a pontoon.
Yeah, it had seats on
You
the left
played
and
while
right.
they were going? While they
Oh
were,
man, that was great, and it was a BYOB
Yeah?
little Dolphin tour, 6:30 to 8:30.
BYOD, bring your own dolphin.
And boy, I ain't kidding you, man. That was fun, and I don't know why that ended, but there for the summer of
That was at night, wasn't it? You going out there at night?
6:30
Hey,
p.m.
y'all
yeah.
ain't seen no dolphins at night now.
Well, 6:30 in the summer is clear as a bell.
Those are the night owl
daylight.
dolphins.
Yeah, we're recording this right after end of daylight savings time, so it's pitch black at about 4 in the afternoon.
I hate that.
I
Don't
know
you hate
it
that?
makes you feel like your day is gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I took my date out to watch the submarine races.
But the dolphin tours, the BYOB dolphin tours, it was like the alcohol that made you think you saw dolphins, or didn't see them. You know, it's like
Get you drunk
I ain't
enough, it
seen
won't
a
matter.
damn thing.
Yeah.
I want my money back. Or it was like, did you see that?
I actually used to do dolphin tours out there back in the late 90s. I had a sailboat and I took kids out there to see dolphins. And we would see dolphins almost every time. I don't think maybe 1 or 2 times we didn't see dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
But that was daytime.
On those times where you're like, there's one.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
And they're where?
You missed it.
Yeah.
You got to be looking, kids.
They're sneaky. Yeah, that's true.
But
Well,
give me your
thing
money.
about dolphins, you see them once, you see
You
them
didn't
jump,
see him. Sorry.
and then they're gone. But you just kind of say, "Wait a minute,
Yeah.
They're good. Now look about that far ahead.
Right.
There they come
There
again.
they are. Yeah. Yeah.
Creatures, beautiful creatures.
Creatures.
I think
Creatures.
Connor went on a vacation with his granddaddy and several others, and down to Daytona, I believe it was, and they got a thing there where you can swim with the dolphins.
I've
So
done that before.
That's really
Yeah.
up close and personal. I've never done that, but that's got to be pretty cool.
It's really great. I've done that, and I've actually had a couple. I used to be a scuba instructor too, and I've had a couple of encounters with wild dolphins before. Just lucky, be out there at the right time. So yeah.
I am a big proponent. Y'all probably call me damn sissy or whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna
whatever
call
the
you
word
that.
is.
Uncle Sissy.
Uncle Sissy.
Uncle Sissy.
Yeah. But I'm a big proponent of if you don't want to die too soon, don't go skydiving.
Yeah.
Don't go scuba diving in the deep water and in the high air. And there's 2 things. What else? Don't have sex with your eyes open.
That's like, what is your chances of a shark attack?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But mine's 0.
Zero because you don't.
I don't get in the
water.
ocean.
Okay. There's
All right.
2 sissies on this podcast.
I got a story for y'all sissies. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
All right. A while ago, I went to the Galapagos Islands.
The what now?
The Galapagos.
That's the big
Yes.
turtles.
Yeah, turtles. They're everything. Dolphins, sharks. We went diving. We were on a boat. We went diving about 4 or 5 times a day. It was crazy. I did a lot of diving. And almost every dive, we would get in, go down. We'd kind of wedge ourselves into some rocks, and we'd sit there. And then all of a sudden, about 2 minutes later,
Wedge yourself into some rocks.
yeah, I'll tell you
Diving?
why. I'll tell you why. Yeah,
I don't want to. That sounds horrible.
I'll tell you why. So we sat there and just we were patient, just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, was a school of hammerhead sharks.
Oh,
And I mean,
no.
50, 60 hammerheads. And they just go right over your head
God,
while you're just sitting there.
They're not
watching.
trying to eat you.
No, they
didn't even
migrate
know
through
that-
there.
They probably did. Were they aware that you were there?
Well, when we
Maybe.
the reason we had to go down and kind of wedge ourselves is the boat would kind of scare them away. They'd kind of go away. And
What
then,
scares them away when you got to come out?
well, your bubbles, sometimes the bubbles would scare them too. But that's why we had to just kind of sit there and be kind of still. And then they would come out of the blue. It was amazing. So,
Not me.
what's this?
How about?
No, you would.
I would jump
like
out of a
wussies
plane.
better than sissies.
I would say that I would jump out of a plane and parachute. They probably wouldn't let me because of the weight limit. But I would get on a rocket to go to space.
Yeah.
I would not. I would scuba dive, but I would not scuba dive and
Deep sea dive.
be scuba diving in no cave.
I've done that
like
too.
if I cannot get straight up to the surface.
I used to do
it's not
cavern
happening.
diving, not
And
cave.
if there's
That's
sharks, forget
shallow.
about it.
No, it's really not that bad. It's that whole fear of the unknown.
School of
Yeah,
It's the
it
fear of the
probably
unknown.
is. And the percentage of accidents and happened and
Very
everything are
slim.
probably so slim that you would.
Exactly.
But you got moray eels, barracudas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love morays.
No.
They're amazing. I went on a dive one time where they were feeding
God.
sharks and different things. And we're sitting there, and a moray eel came and put his head in the bucket. They had squid in a bucket, and it couldn't get its head out.
Oh no.
So then it started going like this, like swimming backwards, and we're all in a circle on the bottom going, ah! This moray's got a bucket on his head. He's swimming backwards. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got on this topic.
It's great though.
We're supposed to be talking about music, Dave.
That's another reason why I won't go down there.
I just realized
because
that I
that
said-
bucket thing.
I used to be a lot more courageous.
I just realized I said I would jump out of a plane or go to space, but I wouldn't go in the water. It's like I just realized, well, I would die a lot quicker the other way. You know,
Yeah, well, that's true.
if you're going
You
to die in
wouldn't
space,
know.
you're going to be dead before you know
You're
it.
vaporized, right?
And
yeah.
same
Well, it's
thing.
the whole percentage.
You might be like,
thing,
well,
and
the
I
parachute
realize
didn't
it
open, but it won't hurt.
But you have a really nice view on the way down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. I never knew China was so bright.
So music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get to
Tell
the
us
topic.
about
at
your
hand.
All
new
right.
band.
Let's-
I have
newish band.
swag. Y'all want your swag now?
you got some swag.
Is that the right? Is it swag?
We can't
or
do that on
swag?
here. This is a family show.
Oh.
It's pronounced SWAG.
Okay, so it's swag.
Swag.
Okay, so yes, I have a band.
I
We're
say
called
swag.
Kellie and the Cruisematics.
Swag.
We are, I mean, you can kind of tell them little rockabilly style. We do little vintage rock, honky tonk kind of stuff. So anyway, we did some T-shirts that are a bit vintage. Let's see, hold
Cool.
it for the camera.
Coca-Cola.
Little Kellie and the Cruisematics there.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. So I brought some for everybody.
Oh,
Cool.
thank you.
And my
you.
son actually designed the logo.
What's your
Awesome.
son's name?
Just Fisher.
Fisher?
Fisher Giannotti is his last name. He's
Giannotti.
very Italian.
Wow.
He's gonna hate that.
He's swarthy.
Sorry, Fisher.
He's swarthy. Swarthy.
I have picks. I have guitar picks.
Cool.
See, I have all kinds of swag. These are little. Let's see. I'll hold it up for the camera. Little. Can you get zero in on that? Focus. There we go. Kellie and the Cruisematics picks, and then Shameful Self Promotion. It has KellieParr.com on the back.
All right.
Shameful Self Promotion.
And that's where everybody can find everything Kellie Parr.
Yes, that's right. KellieParr.com. That's Kellie with an IE, Parr with 2 R's.
I've been there before.
Have you seen my website? You
Yes.
visited my website?
I have.
So yeah, we started this band about, I guess it's been a couple of years. Gosh,
It has been.
time has gone. We started right before COVID
Yeah.
hit.
I remember
And-
you telling me that I got a new band.
I
You
know,
go-
it's so exciting. And then we had and of course, I have to tell you, we had some lead guitar issues. First of all, we had one guitar player that didn't work out. Then we had a second one that was great, but then he quit because he couldn't commit to it. And then we had a third guitar player that played for our debut show, but then he decided he didn't want to play vintage rockabilly style. So I said, to hell with it. I'm going to learn how to play lead guitar. So I've started learning, and it's really freaking hard. Okay. I know y'all probably can play
I can't.
solos.
Well, he's more of a lead. Than
Yeah,
I,
I've seen
than
you.
am.
I know what you can do.
I'm a rhythm guy.
But holy cow, it's really hard.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying
It is
to.
to me.
Yeah.
It always has been to me.
I mean, I'm working on it. So now we're a trio.
But you got the little Bigsby thing.
I do. Oh
That-
man,
that
and I
Bigsby
use that
has-
sucker.
As
tell ya.
the soul.
So much fun. So we've been doing that for a couple of years now. We play around town, and hopefully going to branch out. I told Sean he's my hero. I'm gonna follow you, all the venues that you play. I'm gonna try to get there. Please. I know Sean
I
Clark.
I do the same thing. I'm like, this band's really playing in a lot of places. Where are they playing?
Where are they playing? I mean, that's what you got to do.
That's
you
what
know?
it's all about,
I mean, you
you know?
really have to just kind of get out there. And I mean, I really want to try to start playing more because I'm very, I don't want to say proud, but a little bit proud of this band. And we're writing some new material, or I'm writing some new songs, and we're going to be recording. Hopefully, in about 6 months, we'll have a new record out.
Nice.
I've got 10 songs I'm working on, but I think 5 are actually going to make the cut.
Who's in the band? Would you?
Right now, well, Joe Tyler, he's our bass player.
Okay.
He actually came up with the Cruisematics name. He actually works out at the, to like go back to one of our earlier topics, he actually works out at one of the car processing places. I think the BMW, is that right, Joe? I don't know if he's watching.
Yeah.
Email us.
Yeah. Let me know about that. So he's our bass player. We originally had Reed Trawick on drums, but he's had some health issues and some stuff that came up. And so Lee O'Neill,
Yep.
who y'all know very, very well.
God bless you.
Yeah, I know. We love Lee. He's been playing drums for me, and he's great. And we've been having a blast. We really do have a good time. We just, we take a lot of songs that, I think cover bands are great. I love all music, pretty much all music, but we like to take covers but make them our own, give it like we do Blondie rockabilly style.
Okay.
We'll do some Hank Williams. And of course, that kind of lends itself to rockabilly anyway. So we try to do different versions of songs that you know, and then we throw in the original song. So we just try to have a party, basically. I mean, I got the flower and the docks.
Yeah.
Ready to party. I hope I'm not flashing anybody when I do that.
It'll be all right. He's got
You can do a little.
He's got editing on there.
That's when he edit. That's when he does edit.
It'll be like a big red Christmas bow, It'll be like.
But that's when he does edit, but it's more zooming in.
And folks, of course, talking about KellieParr.com and everything, but also, if you've been watching our podcast, you've probably seen her already because she performed on both of the past 2 years Guitar Pool virtual shows, Kellie and the Cruisematics.
That's right. Love it.
I've been listening to a podcast recently that I think you would get into. It's the history of rock and roll. And there's this guy on there, I don't know, I think he's British, but he kind of sounds like he's got a speech impediment. It almost sounds like he's British with a German accent or something. I can't quite put my finger on it, and it's hard to get through, but
you'll love it.
He's very
Sounds great so far.
He's
me to sleep every
very
night.
technical. He's very smart with the way he's bringing it all together. He goes back to the beginnings of time almost with these early 20s and 30s recordings, and he traces the history of rock and roll, which he talks about coming out of the swing era and the big band era and everything. He talks about some of the first music that had a backbeat in it.
Yeah.
The backbeat, boom, boom, boom. You didn't have that prior to a certain time, or you may have had a song that hinted at it, and he'll go back and grab that and say, this was probably the earliest, and it's like, talk right. But it's very educational, it's very inspirational, and I've only made it through like 12 or 13 about an hour long episode, 12 or 13 episodes, and it's got like 136 total,
Wow.
So, but it goes from those humble beginnings, and I can't wait to get into the period that I was there, the 50s and 60s and everything. But
so he's breaking down
he's breaking down the element. And
this is the first guitar feedback. This is
right. I think we'll get to that. He hadn't even covered feedback yet, but basically it's like
the first time somebody made a noise with the throat.
Benny Goodman. And then it's like, Big Mama Thornton,
Oh, cool.
Lieber and Stoller, the guys that wrote Hound Dog.
Yeah.
Jambalaya, Hank Williams.
Oh, Hank Williams.
That's it right there. That's
there
it.
it is.
History of rock
Andrew
music.
Hickey.
Okay. It's not rock and roll. A history of rock music and
music.
500 songs.
Wow.
I've been enjoying the heck out of it. And look, the last episode is My Generation by The Who.
Oh,
So
cool.
I guess what's the one before that? The Sound of Silence. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So it kind of ends with
Songs.
those are My
Midnight
Generation is
Hour,
still
My Girl.
60s.
Oh, wow. That
So-
was really cool.
100. It take him 136 episodes to get from the 20s to the 60s.
Maybe he's not through though. He's 500
He's got
songs.
500. Yeah.
Oh, in 500 songs though. But each
episode is a song, right?
well,
or more than one.
Maybe that's what it is.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
All right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, whatever it is, folks, tune in, turn on, and drop out.
Drop out.
Well, we fixing to drop out for just a second here. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Miss Kellie Parr is going to perform some for us. So
All right.
y'all stick around.
Something in my brain won't let me stray. Something in my veins gonna find its way. Something in the water taught me how to pray. When the cold black water finds its way into your veins, you'll never be the same.
Hey, y'all, welcome back to Something in the Water. Our guest here is Kellie Parr from St. Simon's Island, Georgia. And we're going to talk about a little songwriting here. She is a songwriter and a damn good one.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
So what you got in mind here for you? Oh, I like that. What is that?
That is an
That's mother of pearl?
abalone.
Abalone.
Capo there.
Abalone capo.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really cool because it like conforms to your hand. You can like move it. Instead of going like that, it goes like this.
During pandemic, I saw that ad come up for, I can't remember the.
Thalia. I don't know how you pronounce
something-
it.
yeah,
I've got two of them.
I remember it was a weird name, but yeah. And I messaged them because I wanted one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
They're sweet.
they didn't message me back, and that was about the end of it.
I'm
But,
sorry, Sean.
but they probably didn't check their Instagram messages. But
It's not
Yeah.
spring loaded.
Well, it's and you can get different little pads that go in here to fit to different guitars, which is really cool. So it's supposed to give like equal pressure on all the strings.
Okay.
That's what.
I had questions. I was like, I want a
told.
special, I wanted it because they do like wood,
Yeah.
and then they do the like abalone letters.
Mother of pearl and all kinds
And I
of
was
stuff.
going to get it to say dweller,
Yeah.
but they wouldn't
That'd be cool.
reply, so I didn't get it.
Oh,
But
maybe that was just too difficult.
Yeah, they were
for them or
like-
something.
I mean, I didn't even get that far. I said, "Hey, I got questions."
I'm so sorry.
And what model of Gibson is that you're playing?
This is
J?
a Gibson J200 Junior.
Junior.
I bought this guitar in 1992.
Wow.
I went into a music store in Tallahassee and I saw it on the wall and I said, I want to try that. And the guy said, look, if you try this guitar, you're going to buy it. And I said, and it was like, I was a
Was
college
that a
student.
threat?
Yeah,
or
well,
was that just
I-
a premonition?
It was a promise, actually,
Okay.
because I was a student at the time and I didn't have much money. And it was like $1,800, something like that. It was expensive for me at the time. And
Still great.
Still expensive.
It looks like it's brand new.
Yeah, but I've taken good care of it. It's my baby. But I played it and I'm like, okay, I've got a Roland Jazz Chorus amp I can trade you. I've got a Yamaha electric guitar. I traded everything I had to get this guitar.
Beautiful.
And
I love the bridge down there. What
Yeah,
is
isn't it
that
pretty?
exactly going on? Is that
Yeah.
hollow?
that is
It's-
the J200
Yeah.
bridge. What do they call that? Mustache?
That's on all
Mustache
J200s?
Bridge? Yeah, I think so.
Why have I not known
Correct me
that?
if I'm wrong, people out there.
I'm not a big scholar of.
Yeah. I actually did
pretty.
splurge and I bought an SJ 200, just like Emmylou Harris's guitar, that I played on the Graham Parsons virtual
Cool.
show this last time.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is my stay-at-home guitar because I love it so much, and it's a jumbo. But this is my workhorse. You know, this is the guitar I play at my gigs, and it just, it's my baby.
So what you thinking about song-wise?
Well, I'm thinking because we're here with you that I should play the song that you instigated in my brain back a couple of years ago when we were going to the Graham Parsons Festival, and you said something about
last time that it was
last
live?
time we actually had it, we were physically there. Am I on the
yes.
mic okay? Am I good?
2019.
You said something about, we'll do this and we'll have room for your man. And because I had brought my man to the previous one, and you knew who he was. Well, I thought to myself, well, my man ain't my man no more. Ding. Ooh, that sounds like a song, a line in a song. So it kind of progressed to the song. So you started. It's all your fault, Dave.
Okay.
But it evolved into a murder ballad, which, you know.
He really isn't your man anymore.
No, definitely not. But no.
If you killed him, then I'm not responsible.
Yeah, I took a little creative license.
Okay.
I have to say, he was fine. He was not that bad. I had a little bit of aggression or aggressive feelings about the situation. So that's how it came out in
I
the
find
song.
it goes better if you kill him in a song.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Less jail time, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work so well the other way. Trust me.
Exactly. So anyway, I thought about this. I thought about my man ain't my man no more. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But what does that kind of conjure up to me? And I've loved bluegrass music my entire life. And so I thought, well, what if I made that into kind of a bluegrass song, like a murder ballad? Murder ballad. And then I thought, well, what if I threw in all these bluegrass terms, you know, motifs, whatever you want to call them. And so I ended up calling it Feeling Bluegrass Blue because, you know, the relationship was over. So
Feeling Bluegrass Blue.
Feeling Bluegrass Blue. And it is a murder ballad, but no one was killed in the making or writing of this song or the aftermath of the song. It's a catharsis, right? I mean, that's why we write music, is to get these things
Get it out.
Therapy. Yep.
Right?
Sure.
Okay. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Should I go ahead? Okay. All right, here we go.
it.
Feeling
Wait.
Bluegrass Blue. Yep.
Now go. Okay, sorry.
Now?
I just like to be in control.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
That's good.
I will follow your lead. Okay. All right, here we go. My man ain't my man no more. He put his boots on and walked right out the door. But the traveling man you never can tell said he had to ramble. I said, fare thee well. Well, that's where the story should end. But evil thoughts started creeping in. See, my man had treated me wrong, so this turned into a vengeful song of how I could have shot him or stabbed him with a knife, could have caught him cheating or been an abused wife. But why would I hurt him when a song will pull me through? My murder ballad has me feeling bluegrass blue. accused of murder in a jury trial. Found guilty, I would spend my life in jail. Found innocent, I could wear a long black veil. I guess I could have shot him or stabbed him with a knife. Could have caught him cheating or been an abused wife. But why would I hurt him when a song will pull me through? My murder ballad has me feeling bluegrass blue. It's been a while since he said goodbye. I'll be better off in the sweet by and by. I realized I had to let him be, but I'll always have my deadly fantasy of how I could have shot him or stabbed him with a knife. Could have caught him cheating or been an abused wife. But why would I hurt him when a song will pull me through? My murder ballad has me feeling bluegrass blue. My man ain't my man no more. He pulled his boots on and he walked right out the door.
Yes.
Do you play that live?
I've played it a few times.
Did you?
Yeah.
Get a good response? on
Pretty
it?
good.
Yeah. I see.
It's funny. My mom actually has the best response. She's like, you know, Kelly, I like that song. It's got a great beat and it's fun. But the lyrics are a little harsh. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
like
pretend,
it.
Mom.
But you didn't actually act out on it.
No,
You know?
no. It's just that, those feelings. I mean, everybody's kind of felt like they just wanted to strangle somebody, but and bluegrass songs, think about how bluegrass songs are always like so kind of fast and
Yeah.
they sound really happy, but if you listen to the lyrics, they're murder and cheating and abuse and it's just so that's what that's about.
And it's like I said in the kitchen a while ago, I don't think there's ever been a bad murder ballad.
Right.
I mean, murder ballads are just like they reach out and capture the soul of everybody that listens. You know,
You're already winning.
Yeah.
Well, and I say Long Black Veil in that song because Long Black Veil is
it's a premium.
Years ago on a cold night.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite murder ballad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, cool.
Well, do you have anything non-murder? You have anything?
I have some non-murder stuff. Let's see. Well, I can play happy song.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that about 90% of the songs that I write are about failed relationships. I mean, really, you're supposed to kind of write what you know. I think that's what most people say. I know failed relationships really well, unfortunately.
Yeah, apparently I do too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, and maybe it's just the catharsis again. It's getting that.
My wife's always like, when are you going to write a song about me? I was like, when we get divorced.
Exactly. I mean, when you're happy,
wait.
you don't
It's
feel like
coming.
writing about it, right? I mean,
You want me to write about, so good, everything's okay.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, right. Or I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna stab you, or shoot you, or stab you. Yeah. Well, okay. So let's see. I did actually write kind of a party song about going out and having fun. So maybe that's a little contrast to the last song. This is an older one that I wrote quite a while ago, but it's about the heyday of Rafters on St. Simon's when they used to have the best bands. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Griffin,
Rafters
where
was
are you?
a nightclub on St. Simon's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yep,
Well,
still is.
still is.
Different,
yeah.
different
But
vibe.
it's
That's true.
they don't
Yeah.
have the live bands like they used
Yeah.
to. And man, I mean, I used to be there like back when I used to own a record store right down the street. This was
You
the late
owned a
90s.
record store.
I owned a record store
Dang.
from 96 to 2000. I had a
Oh, that
Village
was
Music
Fun.
Oh, cool.
right down the street from Rafters, and it was great. I sold
You
a lot
actually
of
sold vinyl.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
We sold vinyl. We had a lot of used CDs and stuff, and I sold a lot of regional bands. Like all the bands in the area that would play at Rafters would come to my store. I'd sell their CDs, and it was so cool. It was really fun. Except I had to pay the rent, and that kind of sucked.
Yeah, well,
And it was right about the time of Amazon.com really cranking up.
Oh,
So you could go on Amazon and find any CD.
kind of ran you out of business.
Yeah, I mean, for the same price that I was paying
Yeah.
to the wholesaler. So it didn't make sense. That whole thing of being the expert has gone away. And especially now with Google. I used to be the one people would call, like, who did that song? My sister, who did that song back in 85? And I would know. But
Yeah.
now you Google it.
Yep.
Google has replaced me. Okay. Well, anyway, so this song actually came about. A friend of mine did the same thing you did, just kind of made this statement, and I was like, oh, a song.
Another one.
Yeah. So I was out at Rafters one night, and I said, I'm not going to stay late. I'm going to make an early night. And he looks at me, he goes, it's too late for an early night. I was like, so this is early night. Going out tonight, wish I could drink this week away. I dumped my sorry boyfriend, think everything's gonna be okay. I've sworn off men 100 times, that disappointment sure does sting. So I plan to go home early, no matter who the night might bring. Feeling bad 'cause I wanna be good, have to go home soon like I know I should. Feel so wrong, but I gotta do right. It's not too late for an early night. Well, I hear the band begin to play as I head up to the bar. Well, I order up a cold one and ask, who's that cutie playing guitar? Might be Sean or Dave, I don't know. Drunk people cloud the dance floor. I grab my beer and dive right in. Well, I could be in trouble now, 'cause my good girl plan is wearing thin. Feeling bad 'cause I feel so good, I stay down longer than I know I should. Feel so wrong, but I gotta do right. Is it too late for an early night? Got my bottle of confidence held tightly in my hand, pressed by sweaty bodies to get closer to the band. As we lock eyes and smile, I hope my conscience will understand. That guitar player's all mine. Come on, baby, play one for me, would you? Oh, feeling bad 'cause I feel so good, I stay down longer than I know I should. Feel so wrong, but I gotta do right. Is it too late for an early night? Crowd shuffles to the door. Show is over, last call is done. But I'll be hanging with the band. My early night has just begun. Feeling bad 'cause I feel so good, I'll stay down longer than I know I should. Feel so wrong that it must be right. It's too early night. But it's too late for an early
That was a good story song.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
And it's a true story.
Yeah.
It happened more than I care to admit.
Yeah.
That I ended up hanging out with a band.
Yeah.
Write about what you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
I like your bridge there.
Yeah, that was
too.
gonna
say that,
Bridge
too.
The bridge was-
interesting, where it went up to the
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
interesting.
the
B.
B. Yeah.
yeah.
I usually do a little slidey thing
Uh-huh.
like that, but
That was good.
sometimes I get
That
lazy.
was awesome.
Thank you.
I was like, that's a nice surprise.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
transitional. Yeah.
Gotta do something different, make it interesting, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
You're pretty good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I got new songs coming.
All
I've
right.
got 5.
Well, we can't wait for
5.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about bent and determined, bound and determined.
Oh yeah.
I think
yeah.
that one's gonna be kind of like that.
Yeah, and
That's
you were
just-
talking about
Blues
during the
shuffle.
break. We were talking
Yeah.
about phrases in songwriting.
Yeah.
You've heard "bound and determined" for
Yeah.
our whole lives, you
Yeah.
know. But you came up with
bent and determined.
and determined.
I feel like I've said that somewhere
Yeah.
in my lifetime, or I've heard it in my lifetime. Like, man, he was bent on doing blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
feel like,
bent on and
Yeah,
determined are
exactly.
synonyms.
Right.
Almost.
yeah. So it's kind of
well,
like
that's the
doubling
beauty of
down on-
songwriting is that you can
Exactly.
come up with your own
That's right.
word. You
Right.
can come up with your own theme, you know,
Yeah.
and just twist the English language into whatever you want it
That's
to be.
right.
You
But
know,
to me, the difference between bound and bent,
Yeah.
I like because bent sounds like you got a dent. You got some
Oh, I like
scars
that.
along the way. You know?
Yeah.
It's
Very
like,
good.
bent and
Uh-huh.
determined. Like
Yeah.
you're still determined,
Yeah.
even
And
though
the-
you've been through some
Yeah.
stuff. You know,
And actually the rest of the theme of that song is about that. Is about overcoming kind of like, damn it, I am gonna get this done. I'm gonna make it happen. So yeah.
hell bent.
See, there we go. There you go. Exactly.
Um,
all right.
and that's
all right.
the other thing about writing as a Southern songwriter from the South, you know. Southerners have a way of bending words
Absolutely.
to make them their own. Like I've always heard like the old saying, like, well, it's kind of like, but I've heard Southerners say it kindly like. You ever heard
Kindly
that?
like, yeah, I have
Kindly.
heard that.
I haven't
Yeah.
heard that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. I love that.
That's
He
pretty.
said, it's kindly like.
Kindly
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, they just twisted it,
Yeah.
you know, and it come out in a lot of Southern vernacular, you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of families, you know. That's Southern talk
Mm-hmm.
is a regional, colloquial, family, familial type thing, you know. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Right.
it could be within just your family that people say. It's like I've told this story on here before, but when I was about 14 or something, the dog came in from the yard, you know, one evening, and he stunk to high heaven, you know. I said, "Oh my God, Sport, what did you get into?" And Mama said, "He probably got into some yarn." Yeah.
What is that?
See, you've never heard of it, right?
Yarn?
Yarn.
No.
Yarn was her word, and it was like,
I heard that.
yes,
Have you heard of it?
that.
Yeah.
Well, you're from Mainer too. You know?
Well, there you go.
That's the plum swamp.
But
And
you come up with that it must.
well,
be,
I'm thinking that it stood for originally the word was carnage. Carn
Right.
is dead animal matter. So it could have been a buzzard, it could have been a
Okay,
raccoon,
okay.
it could have been something
Yeah,
dead.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the dogs love it.
Right.
And they will roll in
yeah,
it
yeah.
and get it all over their fur. And then, but it, oh God, you can imagine what it smells like.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, now, how did that become yarn?
Yarn.
You know, carnage.
Like you're saying carnage, yeah.
yarn. But you know how Irish and or whatever people from the old country, you know, that came and settled this country, they were still talking like
Right.
Connie, Jenny, Connie,
Yeah.
Connie.
You know, a lot of things get
Twisted.
like that because they don't know how it's spelled or how
Right.
or
Right.
even know how to read.
You just
or,
hear it your
Right,
whole
right.
life,
And-
and it's passed
and
down,
then
you know.
Well, it's like that game of telephone, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it starts
Yeah.
out one way
Yeah.
and it ends up another
Right, yeah.
completely different word. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, we love it.
Like my mom calls a jacuzzi a sakoozie. We're gonna get one of them sakoos.
That's so cute.
I said, Mom, it's a
Some of them
jacuzzi. That's what I
grandchildren-
said.
The
Jacuzzi.
grandchildren of your mama will grow up
Oh, and,
thinking that that's a word.
I've spent 2 years now trying to convince her that it's COVID. She says
she-
Coven. He's got the Coven.
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 Okay. All
I
right.
said,
Well,
Mama,
that's close.
I said it's COVID. She goes, that's what I'm saying. COVID. And I said COVID. I said say co-video. Co-video. And
Yeah.
I say COVID. Coven. It's like, am I taking crazy pills here?
Oh, that's sweet.
She don't care though. She ain't trying to change.
No. Well, there's no reason to. No reason to.
I love it.
Well, you got another one for
Yeah,
us?
that's one.
Well, you know,
Well, I said we had a murder ballad.
Yeah,
This is
murder
the
ballad.
which
We've
one
had
you
the
said this
fun
one was
song.
the
yeah,
this is
About a-
you already told us which one it was
the
gonna
love
be.
song.
Love song.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of cool because you were talking about Irish words and speaking and all that. I did one of those ancestry things, and I found out I'm like 70% Irish, and I didn't know that. I hadn't. I mean, I
think I am
kind of.
too.
Yeah, I kind of figured it, but I think if your family is from kind of in this area for a couple of generations, you have a lot of that Scotch Irish
Probably so, yeah.
Clark. So.
ancestry.
Is Parr,
Pired.
is it the Parr side or
Well, no, it's it's actually both sides. I have
What's
it
your
from
other
both
side?
sides.
What's the
yeah.
other side?
Well, actually, what's really cool is my mom's side. My great grandfathers were the founders or two of the founders of Berkeley at University of California at Berkeley, but they're from Liberty County, Georgia. And they're the LeConte brothers. They were French. I think they were first generation here, or maybe they moved here. But that was really cool. I found out and my mom never told me about that because I think she thought I would end up going to Berkeley if I knew about that. She's like, no, you're going to go closer to home. Sorry. But that's French. So I'm French and Irish is the main ancestry. But anyway, the reason that I'm telling you that is this song, when I wrote it, I kind of was picturing kind of an Irish ballad, you know, or some of the lyrics in there, gypsy. So I use gypsy soul in the song, and that's from a Van Morrison song.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of an Irish flavor to this song, but it is actually the only true love song I've ever written. You know, again, you're right, Wayne. I have been blessed by many, many things in my life, but successful relationships that is not one of my blessings. I have had difficulties in that area, but that's okay.
Well, you sure pretty enough.
Well, thank you. You're very sweet.
And talented
it makes for good
enough.
songwriting too.
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
witness of that.
I think it's just, I think my parents have been married for almost 70 years.
Mhm.
Okay. So I have come to the conclusion that if you have found that type of relationship where you are just bonded, you are lucky. You are freaking lucky. I'm just here to testify to that. So anyway, but this is ironically about the same person that I wrote the first song about, the murder ballad.
Okay.
This
This is actually before the murder ballad.
This is the origin story.
This is the pre-murder
I love
ballad.
that you
So-
tied this up in a nice little
It's
package.
You'll have to tell us who this is, and he'll be our
package.
next guest.
Oh no, please no.
Okay.
I'm sure he will have nothing but pleasant, wonderful things to say about me. Yes. Okay. Anyway.
Tell us behind the flower.
And
What's behind the flower?
behind the flower.
That's perfect. I love it. it. Yes, it's right there.
What's the name of this one?
This one is called "I Know Your Song by Heart."
Cool. I love it.
That's
Good title.
definitely a love song. Okay, here we go. I hear a song float across the open water, a tune I have heard many times before, sent to me from a distant gypsy soul, over the waves to my lone shore. Music surrounds me like a gentle lover's embrace. Each note resonates in my heart. I hear you call me in the wind, and I will answer. Space and time cannot keep us apart. Bring to me your simple melody. Sing with me in sweet harmony. Words so true as if I'd written them myself. I know your song by heart. I long to recognize the whisper of your touch and breathe in the sigh of your kiss. I've held your story deep inside my soul. Every song I've sung led me to this. Bring to me your simple melody. Sing with me in sweet harmony. Words so true as if I'd written them myself. I know your song by heart. Space and time will never keep us apart. I know your song by heart.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I would have never thought you'd have wanted to kill that guy. No.
Not after that. You got
That's
such a
great.
pretty voice.
Oh, thank you.
No,
Thank
it's
you. I
deep.
appreciate
It's
that.
very resonant. Very.
Thank you.
It's got a lot of depth to
Oh.
it.
Yes, I'm feeling it, feeling
Yeah,
the emotion. Well, I really do.
You are.
know.
Yeah.
So I'm not just joking.
Good. When do you think? Do you recall when it was that you kind of like said, "This is what I'm going to do," or the first song that you ever sang, or
Okay.
your mama maybe saying,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah. When I was 5,
uh-huh.
I wrote
You wrote a song."
all the way from Georgia to California. That's where I'm going today. All the way from Georgia to California, that's where I'm going to stay.
Wow.
I wrote that when I was 5.
No wonder your mom didn't want to tell you about Berkeley.
I know, exactly. It's like I knew it.
She's
Like
like,
I knew
no,
it.
I can never tell her.
Yeah. I mean, there's my phone. Sorry.
Sounded like the
I know,
guitar
that's
player.
my mom's calling. What are you doing?
Put her on
What are
there.
you talking about? Are you talking about going to
Go
California?
ahead and answer. That'd be all right. Put her on the podcast.
You are not going to California.
No. Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, I guess when I was 5, I wrote that. But it's just been that kind of constant thread throughout my whole life. But circumstances just never made it to where I could do it, really pursue it full time. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that I think I have more to say. You know, as you get older, you kind of have more stories to tell and more experience. And so I think... I suspect that the stuff I'm working on now is going to be the best that I've ever done.
Cool.
Well, that's what you strive
Yeah.
for, anyhow.
Yeah, hopefully keep getting better and better. So we'll see. We'll find out. Yeah.
Well, that was
That's gonna be
beautiful.
awesome.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
And Mama,
Yeah.
Mama, you got
I'm
to wait.
home. I'm coming home.
She's coming home soon. But first, it's time for another tale of the week.
I'm going to sit back for this one.
Okay. Yeah.
We get it, Dave. You write stories.
Yeah, this was a good one.
It's all about you, Dave.
No, this was not all about me.
All about you, Dave.
This was not all about me. But folks, just tune in. This was actually the very first blog that I wrote when a buddy of mine, James Cott, that my next door neighbor growing up to on Dog Hill here in Waycross, back in about 2015, he sent me a message and he said, "You need to write a blog." And I said, yeah. I ain't got
Sounds
time
like work.
for that. Sounds like work, all that stuff. Well, that sat in the back of my head for about 3 weeks or so. And then, and about 3 weeks later, it rolled around up there. And I said, he might be right because I got some stories to tell.
Yeah.
So anyhow, this was the very first one, and then 2.5 years I wrote one a week. So that's about 200 and something blogs, and then this book came out of it, and here we are with the tale of the week on Something in the Water podcast. So here we go. Pardon me.
Do you have any Grey Poupon?
Dollar Tree, $1.07 at the Dollar
Gotta
Tree.
have 'em.
For the ones that are listening, he's whipped out his glasses. Or his readers, if you will.
My readers. Talk about true love.
Yeah.
Matilda Scaduto. You ever heard of her?
Whoa, no.
Okay. And
Was that her?
yes. And
look at
Deodorius Bryant. You ever heard of
Oh,
him?
yeah.
Okay. Met in the spring of 1945 in Milwaukee. She, a hotel elevator operator of Italian descent, and he, a musician from Georgia. 2 days after meeting, they eloped and settled down in Moultrie, Georgia, about an hour southeast of Shellman, where Deodorius was born in 1920. Now, Moultrie, for all of you watchers and listeners that don't know anything about Georgia, is located in southwest Georgia, smack dab between Albany and Valdosta.
It's over yonder.
It's over there. 19-year-old Matilda said she recognized him immediately. She had seen his face in a dream when she was 8 years old and had looked for him forever.
Wow.
Ain't that powerful?
Wow.
They struggled financially, living in a mobile home during their first years together. While Deodorius was out playing music, Matilda sat at home writing song poems. She would show them to her husband, who found them quite interesting and not bad at all. In earnest, they began writing as a team and before long had 80 songs at their disposal. They tried selling their songs to country artists and were roundly rejected until Little Jimmy Dickens recorded Country Boy in 1948. The song went to number 7 on the charts, and the couple began a working relationship with Acuff Rose Music in Nashville, Tennessee. In 1950, the Bryants left Moultrie and headed to Nashville. They made it as far as Macon. With finances low, Mr. Bryant landed several gigs until they were back on their feet and back on the road to Nashville. Beginning in 1957, the couple gained national exposure after writing a string of hits for a young rockabilly duo from Kentucky known as the Everly Brothers. They also landed hits with Roy Orbison and Buddy Holly. The husband and wife team has been celebrated, awarded, inducted, and honored over their creative career. And you will understand why after you hear me read this list of their biggest songs. All I Have to Do Is Dream, Bird Dog, Brand New Heartache, Bye Bye Love, Devoted to You, Like Strangers, Love Hurts, Raining in My Heart, Rocky Top, Sleepless Nights, Wake Up Little Susie, and You're the Reason God Made Oklahoma are just a few. Lesson to aspiring songwriters on patience and persistence. Bye Bye Love was turned down over 30 times before the Everly Brothers made it their first million-selling hit.
Wow.
It's kind of like that old saying I've always heard, if you're in the music business, songwriter, whatever you're doing, pushing yourself, for every 99 no's, there's bound to be one yes.
Yeah.
I heard that was a different thing.
Yeah. But this is kind of like they beat the odds on that. Bye Bye Love was turned down only 30 times.
For every girl you say, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it
Gotta
holds
keep
true.
trying.
Holds true for life.
No, but there's that one.
Graham Parsons fans will instantly recognize several titles written by the successful team. Their songs have been recorded by Tony Bennett, Frankie Lane, Sonny James, Eddie Arnold, Charlie Pride, Jim Reeves, Jerry Lee Lewis, Ray Charles, Dean Martin, Simon and Garfunkel, Sarah Vaughan, Count Basie, Graham Parsons, Emmylou Harris, Bob Dylan, The Grateful Dead, and Elvis
Wow.
Well, that's kind of a
Costello.
Elvis Costello.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Too.
That's a good
That's
list.
not a
Yeah.
bad list.
Yeah.
For over 35 years, the married couple wrote more than 6,000 songs
Wow.
with over 1,000 recordings, which sold more than 200 million copies.
Wow.
They hardly had time to make love.
Love
There was-
hurts.
They was writing songs so often. Not bad at all.
Bye bye love. Love hurts.
Yeah.
Like strangers.
They're like, don't touch me. Let's write a song.
Not bad at all for two young lovers from Moultrie, Georgia. Felice and Boudleaux Bryant. That's who that ended up being, folks. Matilda Scaduto and Deodorius Bryant was Felice and Boudleaux. Where's the big picture of them? That one right there. This is what they ended up looking like after
Drugs and hard times. No, I don't know.
I still
There
look
you
pretty
go.
good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the rest of the story.
Kind of looks like you,
Yeah,
Dave.
that's neat.
Yeah. Most people didn't know Miss Matilda and Deodorius. And most people don't know them as Felice and Boudleaux. But anybody that's into music and songwriting like we all are, they are two of the greatest.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it's hard to
I
argue
mean,
with
you,
that.
you talk about that list of songs right there. My
Yeah,
God.
them and Lennon McCartney. I mean,
Yeah. Lennon McCartney weren't married.
well,
Wow. Yeah.
Paul McCartney told some stories. Sitting around in a circle or doing something.
They used to. Well, they might as well been
That's
married.
a deep end story. I
You
think.
know how
Yeah.
bands are.
That's for later. A few more drinks.
You know what we're
yeah.
talking about?
I think so.
Yeah.
People in bands are It's just like a marriage.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Well, in that case, I've been divorced a bunch of times.
Only there's a lot more spouses
With it.
involved. Well, folks, we thank y'all for tuning in to Something in the Water podcast, and we thank our lovely guest, Kellie Parr from St. Simon's Island, for joining us this time.
Heck yeah.
We hope that y'all will continue watching, because we'll be back. That's for sure.
When the cold black water finds its way across through your veins, it just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate.